First exclusive interview on behalf of the accused is counsel Thomas Dickey, attorney for the 26-year-old man charged in the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Counsel, thank you for joining us.
And thank you, Chris.
So your client had an opportunity to say you got the wrong guy, never did. He apologizes in his manifesto for the pain he has caused. He gave voice to his motivation today in front of the cameras, and yet am I correct that you believe you don't think he did it?
Well, Chris, one thing I always liked about watching you is you're a lawyer, okay? So I don't know if you've done much criminal work or not, but my client hasn't faced any actual criminal charges from New York yet. So he hasn't had an opportunity to make any plea. My anticipation is going to be when and if that happens, he's going to plead not guilty. I mean, we've seen no evidence. We've seen nothing. And I was reminding people today about, you talk about America a little bit and what some wonderful things about this country, and particularly in the criminal justice system, and that's the presumption of innocence. And I don't want people to jump to, these prejudgment things, because nobody would ever want that if they were accused or one of their loved ones were accused. And as the big hearing today, I haven't seen any evidence yet. I don't even know if this is him or whatever. So we're going to test those waters and give the government a chance to bring some evidence forward.
Do the job. Let me ask you something. In terms of developing why he would not be responsible, what understanding do you have about this quiet period that this guy had where nobody could get in touch with him after his surgery, where people were worried about him, that led his family to report him missing? What do you know about that period?
I know nothing about that, Chris, so I wouldn't comment on that, and I would only be speculating, and I don't even know what's out there.
But don't you have to? I mean, that's pretty much all you have, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Chris, and like I said, I'm not, if I disappoint you, I'm sorry and too bad, but I've been involved in this case for, probably less than, 12 hours now. And I've, as a lawyer should do, is I got to look at evidence, and, I'm not going to go by conjecture and opinions and speculation, what people think. We as lawyers look at evidence. So, tomorrow will be another day, and we're gonna start looking into that.
Have you had a chance to speak to your client?
I have.
And how did you meet him in terms of his demeanor and disposition towards this?
As I told everybody today, Chris, my idea was to develop a relationship, a bond, so to speak, an attorney-client relationship, where I want to have him have trust and faith in me, and vice versa. And so I thought that we accomplished that today, and so I'm pleased with that in the short time we've had together.
Is there anything he wanted you to express to the rest of us?
Not really. And if he did, Chris, you're familiar with the attorney-client privilege, and I can't talk, and I won't talk about anything.
That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you, did he ask you to express anything to the rest of us? Not, did he tell you a secret that you feel like sharing?
Well, no, if you asked me what he asked me, that is a conversation we've had, and I think that's attorney-client privilege, and I'm not going to touch that, in all due respect.
That's not what I'm asking. How did you assess him in terms of, does he seem okay to you? Did he seem healthy? Did he seem able to focus and understand you? Did he seem balanced?
Well, I think he made some knowing decisions today when we decided that we're challenging this extradition. I don't make those evaluations necessarily at this level, and so he seemed to understand my questions. He seemed to be able to interact with me, and so I was pleased with that.
How would you assess his mood? Did he seem upset? Did he seem worried?
Well, here's what I tell everybody, Chris, today is, use your common sense. You're a young man or an old man, whoever you are, and you're accused of, he hasn't been accused yet that I've seen, but the talk and the anticipation, probably out there is that he may be charged with a very serious offense. He's certainly behind bars, which I believe is wrong. I felt that the judge should have set bail today. But having said that,
hold on. Counsel,
yes, sir.
make the case for why you would set bail for a man who screamed out in public that this needed to be done and was found with the same weapon that was used and did nothing to explain away why he had a manifesto explaining why he did it. Why would you want that man released exactly?
Okay, well, you threw not a compound, but a tripod, if there's such a word, question out there. Maybe I should take some notes. But first of all, Chris, you're making a statement that that gun that they found matched the shooting in New York. I haven't been certainly made aware of that. I haven't seen any ballistic reports. So if you've seen that already, then that's interesting because I certainly haven't seen that. So I don't know.
Let's say it's not the same gun. Let's say it's not the same gun. What is your argument as to why you would feel safe if he's released with bail?
Okay, Chris, there's a document, you're talking today, you began with a little bit of political thing, and I am worried about the preservation of the Constitution of the United States, but I love that document. And that's why I do what I do. I stand on an island many times, and that island is the Constitution. And the Constitution says, number one, that you have a presumption of innocence, everybody, and including this young man, you have a presumption of innocence. Number two is the Pennsylvania Constitution. The Constitution says that even when you're accused of a crime, you're entitled to bail. You're entitled to having bail set unless, in Pennsylvania, two exceptions to that. Number one is that you're charged with a capital case, which means that there's a death penalty on the table. And
which he is not.
I am one of the few attorneys qualified in Pennsylvania to do capital cases, death penalty cases. So that's not on the table. And number two is if the charges which you're facing carries a life without the possibility of parole sentence, which in Pennsylvania is first-degree murder. I haven't seen any charging documents yet. I complained about that in court. The district attorney had indicated that it was a second-degree murder. And while I'm still looking at that, my guess and belief is second-degree murder is not life without parole. So under the Constitution, I hate to bring up the Constitution, but everybody who's against it, I guarantee you, Chris, that when they're in this situation, they're gonna wave that Constitution around and say, look at this, look at this, look at this. So under those two circumstances, Chris, those two excluders, if you would, those two exclusions, he's entitled to bail. So whether it's $10 billion or $10,000 or whatever, the judge had that discretion, but he should have set bail.
The reason he didn't set bail, the reason he can't set bail is because of the pending extradition. I know you're fighting extradition, but as you know, the case law in your own state makes it very clear that when you do have a capital crime, that they can give you a sufficient proffer on, and they want extradition for it to another state, you're not going to release the guy.
But Chris, this isn't a capital crime. A capital crime in Pennsylvania is a capital offense, which means it's be punishable by death.
In New York, being accused of a homicide in another state will be something that will stay the judge's hand from the ordinary course of bail, pending the understanding of that extradition proceeding. And we'll see how it goes. And counsel, I give you an open invitation to come back and argue your case all the way through the duration. I will give you fair hearing all the way.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disappoint you, Chris. Just real quick. There's a difference, though. Again, I'm sorry, I forgot the point that you made. But first of all, I didn't expect the judge to do that because I agree with you that the elephant in the room, so to speak, is what's looming out there in New York. All I'm saying is that a matter of law, I believe the judge should have set some bail because he's entitled to that under the Constitution.
I get it, and I don't know why you keep saying you disappointed me. You're doing your job, zealous representation of your client. The Constitution demands no less, and neither do I. You are welcome here to make the case as you see fit for the duration.
And just real quick, Chris, and I'm not blowing smoke nowhere, but I always enjoyed watching your show. I did when you were on CNN. One thing I liked about you is you were a lawyer. And I used to always say to my fiance when I watch you grill people and give questions, cross-examination, as we call it in the business, is you're your lawyer, and I appreciate that. You always have and do.
Counsel, thank you very much. I hope you take me up on my invitation, and I appreciate you doing so tonight.
Thank you, Chris. It's a real pleasure to talk to you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.